in 6 months, he shows you the way out. And that's what he's going to do. He said the man, Tinubu, is in a hurry to make a difference. Asiwaju wants to make a name. He wants to reposition Nigeria. He wants to recover lost ground to the nation. He's telling us that he understands we are going through some pains, and he's coming with a track record of performance. And those who are being nominated or given appointments, I celebrate you. But if you don't perform, this man will show them that's the way out. It's not a question of leaving them for 8 years or 4 years. Asiwaju doesn't have that kind of track record. Meanwhile, Smart Adeyemi said the legislative experiences of President Tinubu and his vice, Kashim Shettima, will help them perform excellently. Adeyemi, who was also an APC aspirant in the Kogi governorship election, noted that once somebody has been in the Senate, that person cannot afford to fail. All right. President Bola Tinubu, a former senator, Vice President Kashim Shettima, a former senator, and even the First Lady, Mrs. Oluremi Tinubu, is also a former senator. So that tells you, according to Smart Adeyemi, that because they were once senators, they cannot afford to fail. But then let's come back and examine, the talk about sacking of ministers after 6 months. The last administration will always be remembered as one administration that maybe never put the ministers up on their toes. So they performed abysmally and nothing was said. Some of them, I don't know if we can point to any minister in the last administration and say, well, this person under his watch, under his ministerial reign, or during his tenure in office, he performed well to a certain extent. But one thing we know for sure is that after the first administration, of course, the first tenure of President Muhammadu Buhari, we saw the ministers, of course, go up until when a fresh election was conducted for a second term. After he won, came back, reappointed some people from, the first tenure and gave fresh appointments to some people. So many of them held sway for probably 8 years and some 4 years without any checks and balances, so to speak, because, you'd expect that if, for example, education that performed very poorly under the last administration was of so much importance to the president and to the administration in general, then maybe we would have seen change. Because at the end of the day, even the Minister of Education came out and made some very shocking confessions about not knowing a thing, up until the appointment. So it showed that there wasn't any carefulness or diligence put into employing or appointing these ministers based on their capacity and what they could offer. Political compensation was most probably given to people who came to the office and did as they liked, and nothing happened. Nothing happened. Now, this is a new administration, even though under the same party, many, maybe because of the couple of years that have come and gone, under the last administration or under the leadership of President Buhari, many people may not necessarily be optimistic. Now, this is not an official statement. Let's just be very, very, very clear about that, okay? Because if you're coming from the likes of Ajuri Ngalale or from a Minister of Information, we could say, well, this is the position of the government. But we understand that, key performance indexes will be given to ministers or have been given to them. We understand that's not going to be business as usual. And now coming from a member of the APC, Smart Adeyemi, of course, who seems to be very passionate and very optimistic about, the president and just what he intends to do for Nigerians, said that ministers will be kicked out of office. By the way, we're streaming live on YouTube. You can join me there if you want. So we can just drop your comments there if you want, so that I'll read them when the time is right. Okay, so YouTube is Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja, and Facebook is also streaming live. You can join me there and drop your comments. I really appreciate that. So back to the back to the issue of throwing out ministers. Okay, Smart Adeyemi is very optimistic that the president has no time to wait, because he is very, very, very curious and very eager to bring about a different experience for Nigerians. Okay, that can be debatable. Based on what is currently going down in terms of the economy. The currency, Nigerian currency, has never been dealt a hard blow than what we're currently facing. In the last administration, we also never saw the Naira pass a certain level up until when, I think they came in when the Naira was about 200 or thereabout, 200 to 300, and they left it at over 700, If you want to do the statistics or the calculation, the percentage that is very high. And right now, it has crossed the Rubicon into the 1,000 zone. And it just keeps going up and up against the dollar, against the Naira, which seems to be dwarfed every day. That's one issue. Economic issues, of course, based on the devaluation of the Naira or the going down of the Naira against the dollar. Forex issues, fuel scarcity and fuel prices going up and so on and so forth can be said, well, it's something that we also need to see an accelerated move on the side of this administration to do something, and very, very quickly at that. But then on the side of the ministers, most times, when a minister performs or, the success of an administration is often attributed to the performance of key sectors. And in this instance, we have, I think about 45 or 48 ministers right now as it is, finance, agriculture, health, education, blue economy, etc., etc. Now, the successes of all of these sectors or these ministries, departments, agencies of government will culminate in the assessment as to whether this administration has succeeded or not. So the failure of the minister in delivering the mandate or the vision of the president would also be accounted or, given to the president, like many of you were trying to, debate last time about Emefiele and Buhari, that his failure amounts to the failure of the last president. So in this instance, I guess maybe the president, going by what Swat said, because like we said, it's not an official statement. Maybe going by what Swat is trying to reveal, the president is trying to take a detour, not to be known as being complacent and not caring enough to put his ministers up on their toes in terms of their performances, because there are so many sectors that are in life support right now, are in a comatose, and we need a purposeful and visionary leadership and someone who possesses the capacity to know what to do to revive, from the bad roads to the bad health system to bad education and so on and so forth. So 6 months, if it were to go by the statement of Sam Adeyemi, in terms of performance, how long would you want to give ministers, before we begin to see the sack or the taking off of anyone who is not performing? Is 6 months enough a time to say, well, it's evident and very glaring that this minister has no sense of direction or is not actually performing, and so we need to take the person out and bring another person? Is 6 months enough a time to assess performance of ministers in this administration, as is being put out there by the senator, who says that this is what Tinubu intends to do. He intends to do something differently, and he knows that he cannot fail because he has been a senator or has served in the legislature before. And so that is one thing for him that he feels would actually make him succeed. And then also many still make reference to the fact that he's one person who's differing by excellent based on his antecedents, whether governor or in other positions that he has served before. So share your thoughts with me as to the time frame by which we can make adequate and good assessment of non-performance on the side of the ministers in this administration. Going by what we saw, that people were left the longest of time and nothing about it. Would it be fair for us to see a president who wields the stick, when it's necessary, to say you're not doing well, so you need to go and let me bring in someone who would do well, because we cannot afford to fail? So share with me on time frame, indexes, and so on and so forth with regards to where this administration tends to go and take Nigerians along. 700-951-0000. You can also 08099301337. Okay, 08095874869 is another number. Dial this afternoon. Let's talk. Hello. Hi. I'm fine, thank you.
I'm watching life. You're looking so beautiful. By the way.
Mommy Z.
Now only you can't come.
Now only me. Yeah.
6 months, 100 days, 6 months, 4 years, 8 years is not enough. My take not about the minister. It's about the people the minister will work with. I know you won't believe. I listened to Mr. Wiki when he was telling the
Next, 95.1.
Maybe you might have looked back.
Independent.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Hi everyone, my name is Swat. That's the name my father gave me, but you can always call me Her Vocal Majesty. I'm the host of The Sunny Side on 95.1 Nigeria. It takes place every weekday, noon to 3 p.m., where we get to have all the lovely contemporary conversations. If your days are normally long and gloomy, well, not anymore. I'm here to make it all bright and sunny for you. So join me. It's an invitation. You don't want to miss out.
This
I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. No more. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. Keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. Yeah. Hey, me up some OJ. Get fresh squeeze, sizzle up some pico and some babies. Make sure that it's on low. Let the top breathe, let the top breathe. Gotta let the top breathe. Crack another egg on it. Me and you could make the best on it. Yeah, never season, so it's our timing. You can smell the good vibes, and I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up, and no more running from the love. No more. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up, no running from the love. It goes sweet like sugar, smooth like cream. Want the steam rising on my caffeine. Cozy as a coop, had to get you in the loop. Cooking in the kitchen, all I really wanna do is cracking an egg on it. Yeah, me and you can make the best of it. Never season, so it's our timing. You can smell the good vibes rising. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running for love. No more. I keep my sunny side up, so they can see me from above. I keep my sunny side up. No more running from the love. I keep my sunny side up. You keep your sunny side up. We keep our sunny side.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
Money is the government.
This is Nigeria Info.
Looking for the time frame. Time frame is enough to judge.
I'm coming to that place.
Okay, but we don't have time, so make your comment short. Make your comment short.
I don't think this government has even time entirely. They jump up without any plan. Talking to talk of a time frame. They don't have any program, my sister. And the reality, we have to face it to tell them that they don't have any time frame or whatever they are going to say, they will say mere saying to the Nigerians. That is what they don't have anything.
Okay.
They
All
just
right.
come to be there and squander the Nigerian money that they removed it to save it and help Nigeria. They couldn't be able to do that. Let's get that subsidy back.
Okay, but let me also ask you this, right? Let me ask you this. Oh, okay. So yeah, you said that the administration does not have, according to your own opinion, they don't have plans and they're just there to squander and all of that. But what time frame would be adequate for a president to know the minister is performing or not, so that either sack such minister or let the some will say since
Until when the president be serious about these people on my party, or these people are the people that I'm expecting them to work for me in the next election. Anybody that any wrongdoing at the EFCC, ICPC, and the Nigerian police to pick him up for interrogation without doing the thing.
All right. Thank you, Abdul. Right, let's take on Mullahs. Hello.
Hello, Your Excellency, Swat.
Good afternoon.
Hello, Your Excellency, Barrister Swat.
Hi, can you? Good afternoon.
Yeah, this would have say 6 months, but I would ask, the budget we are currently in is not their budget; it's the budget of Buhari. So I will extend 1 year. But in the past 2 months, these ministers have been inaugurated. Some of them have shown that they know their opinions. Let me quickly highlight them. Minister of Interior, we have seen how international was very, very difficult to assess. Look at what this man has done. In less than 1 month that he came, he saw 100,000 backlog. He ordered that in 2 weeks they should clear it. That is leadership, and that man knows his onions. Look at the Minister of FC. We have successive ministers in 1999, but none has deemed it that FCT should be a mandate secretary for women affairs, commissioner of women affairs, state or minister of women affairs at federal level. None of them have think that FCTs can rise from whatever level to become secretary. That is visionary. That minister that knows his onions. Look at the minister of humanitarian affairs. She is able to that. Yes, she knows the job. Before the 6 month, 1 year time we will give them, of them have beginning to show that they know their jobs. Here is enough. By the time this administration budget, we will give them the grace of between January to September that 1 year. Anyone that did not perform, Wajerod.
All right, thank you. I appreciate. Hello.
Hello, Swat.
Yes, good.
My name is KJ. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm okay now. Thank you.
God bless you.
God bless you.
You see, talking about time frame, we don't need to even be talking of time frame. As they move along with the achievement they are making, my problem with them is that if I will like it. I don't want to hear any I will. We've had a will for the done for don't just. We want to hear I have done this. They will verify whether it is done or not. This very fool of president, he say he's continued from where Buhari stopped. So the issue budget is on. Doesn't arrive. The budget is on because they contributed much to what it and brought the budget together. So nobody realizes that this budget is not his own. It is on because it's part and integral part Buhari. So Carter is on it on that. So time frame or no time frame with that when his first time his first was subsidies. Now you remove subsidy with nothing on ground. So people who are very difficult to even live before they confronted their problem. There is no time frame. Let's see things in Nigerians where is being improved. Period.
But you said no time frame. How long will you do whether that is happening or not? So there has time frame for you to know
That's why I said that is why as they move on, we will see that they are improving. Something done to improve our life. Because this is a government that, if you look at the AP kind of a thing, you give them time frame, even sometimes give themselves. When they come out, you see that it's done. So time is not the issue. Let's see on a basis. How is our life being improved? We are how many months down the line now? Almost 4, 5, 6 months. Our problem not even getting worse.
So now, because I don't. Sorry, sir. With all due respect, I agree with you that it's not a matter of time. Because you said you're already seeing results from some of them, or you already know if this person is. So how long can you give another person to get to that point and say, in so months, it's been 1 year, nothing. There must be some sort of timing.
Okay, go on individual holder.
Yeah.
And based on this available team and based on the cooperation is received for people who are working with it. And like someone said, if anybody is for me, because they know those who are of whatever, they know who is performing and who is not performing. But the point is that because they are political appointees, nobody wants anybody. And so we keep on going the way we are. Those who are not performing should be sure a way out.
All right.
After 6 months, let me just help out 6 months. Finally, if nothing is able to be done by the indices of improving in our land, then I can say they have not performed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, that was Mr. Katie there. Right, trying to happening to the WhatsApp. Right, I was trying to take the call, that it didn't stay. Okay, WhatsApp is open 0999 30137. Okay, we have some ready. Hello.
Hello.
Afternoon.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon.
So good afternoon. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Yeah. You're the next president.
Go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah, thank you. On the issue of the ministers, I think 6 months too small for them to show what they can do, what they are capable of. And like one caller said, Tinubu Peking, you see some minister that knows theirs. They know where they are. Have started making some changes. Have started proving their worth. So any minister not perform in the next 6 months should be away. Because we don't have the resources to take care of them, and they cannot show what in them for. Nigeria cannot afford to even waste 1 day with our precarious situation now. So any minister that's not ready to work, go! It's not the time the president will be pampering them, giving 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 8 good years. I don't for it. If you have a and doing boss, it will show on your activities. So gone are the days that will be wasting our money, that's not even there. For me, okay, with that 6 months, you can see the deputy minister went to go and meet the president. Please remove us from IPPA so that we'll be able to get more funds to work.
All right.
So any minister not deliver within 6 months should pack and baggage it and leave. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Okay, about that, let's take this call and read the messages. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Swat.
Yes, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm fine.
This is Comrade Aruna on the line.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, 6 months is still by me. Whatever of them, they are part of they know much about Abuja and they apply for the job. So for 6 months, we should be ready and start and running. Just like we saw, in fact, the courage, the spirit that Minister of Humanitarian, for her requesting the UN to publish their accounts so that Nigeria will know how much remitted to us and how much are remitted to us. This is the minister who knows what she's doing. Therefore, accountability for transparency. So I expected all ministers to wake up and start doing the need to know that, yes, just like Paulo said, is that we are not paying you for service and you are there to serve. So I expected them to do this. Mr. President, please, those who fail to give you that, we have a lot, millions of Nigerians are there that can handle that. I'm one of them.
Thank you so much, Haruna. I appreciate the contribution. Let's read messages like I promised earlier on. Good afternoon, Her Vocal Majesty. Says who now? Let me try to this one. Okay. Good Vocal Majesty. So now what happens to himself? Michael Okpabi is the president. I don't know what you mean by that. This message says, afternoon, Swat. I think 1 year and 6 months is enough, but some ministries are not always in the news. They are not performing, while some in the news, not because they are performing. Solomon Gaza. Well, if they are not in the news, you see the evidence, right? What about news now? It's about performance. Performance, like I was saying earlier on, if you're a star and stuff, even if it is the night, you keep shining. So it's not necessarily about the news. It's about tangible, physical evidence. Nigerians and their livelihood, the quality will be improved. That's what performance is about. Performance goes beyond lip service. You come on the news and you have media around you. Your media team are doing a great job, always putting on the pages of newspaper, and then nothing is felt. You keep making statements from now to tomorrow. Don't feel your impact. It doesn't amount to performance. Performance is how it's beginning to see, for example, the state of our roads. How much improvement do you get to see in terms of health delivery performance or, quality of deliverance? How much are you beginning to see in terms of performs for our educational sector or in agriculture? What is around, tangibly that you can see? This is what we refer to as performance necessarily being in the news. Okay, so let's get that really very, because I think almost we just say, this person is because he's always in the news. Some people are just, as far as I'm concerned, you know how borrowing from the Bible says empty gongs make the loudest noise. It's not a noise. It's about the quality of leadership and tangible evidence that you cannot even do. All right. So for me, that's it. Good afternoon, Madam Swat. 3 months is enough to examine a minister's, but from the look of things, there's no plan on only the FCT minister's voice hearing. You hear, but it's not his voice. Performance. That's what I said. You said the president is even our issue. No good promise coming from him. May God help Nigerians. Fred Henry. Okay, let's take all. Hello. Hello. Elder.
6,500.
Elder is buying PO. He's there and he has forgotten that he called in. Call us back. We heard that. This one is a message from Emeka. Obedient Emeka, you said good afternoon. Yoma, let's be honest here. The check Smart Ademi is from the ruling AP. Secondly, he's not the government spokesperson. And the government spokesperson who's in Galali saying the opposite of what is happening within our. Don't forget the lifting of UAE ban and the later reverse what they. Who do we believe? Tinubu never sack any of them after they have helped him to grab power. So at 6 months along the lines, 6 months along the line, maybe, what do you see? Is there any mini progress and achievement made? Absolutely show for it. You said give 100 years and they do anything to change the narrative because they're not there to serve but to enrich themselves and family. Swat alert OT under the same is performing wonders in Abia, but here nothing is really happening. It means what you mean by wonders. What exactly is this? Okay, Emeka, thank you for a message. Patience, what of him as a president if he does not know? Who came? Not up to a year. People are crying, dying, and shouting. Both Tinubu and his, you said, of the same feather. Okay. I thought in the context of Nigerian politics, assess the minister's performance within 6 months and provide some initial insight. It's important to consider significant policy changes and risks may take time to yield visible results. A more comprehensive evaluation might be possible after a year long, taking into factors like policy implementation, sectors, and public reception. In mind that this is just a general perspective and specific circumstances can vary. However, I like the idea of 6 months probation to the ministers as it's in signs if the minister is serious or not. You said it will come on their toes to perform. You can see at the moment some of them may earn their confirmation already, like the minister, works and FCT minister who have kicked the ground. The question is, will the president have political will to terminate the appointment of did not show signs of performance after 6 months? By the way, I'm watching you on YouTube at Army Design Dress from Lokogoma. Thank you so much. You have a very, very valid point there, depending on, the policy implementation impact on a whole lot of things. But like I was saying, Okay, like just to take a typical example, as if you have cited about the interior minister. Nigerians were coming under the burden having to wait for 3-6 months, sometimes longer than that, before you get your passport. And there's a minister that just comes, assesses that, or puts that on sort of scrutiny, asks the right question. Even found out that some Nigerians are being extorted of getting their passports, which was a big problem. Now, on call, he just discovered that this is what is most likely the cause, and he gave an order and said, "It won't be the way it is. This is how it ought to be, and this is how it's going to be." And in a short while, look at what has happened. Right now, you can go if for anything, even if they want to extort you, the fact that you are able to put some of these things, stop it. So you can see sort of visible result. It may not be the biggest thing he can do, but he has started some. People can go into the immigration, and it's not going to take as long as in that time that whatever it is that happened, I broke down the process so that Nigerians wait and wait and wait. In fact, I remember when I was going to renew my passport shortly before I traveled, last year for the beginning of this year. And I was telling a lady that she said, forget about that thing. You never get it. You just want me and my children. My passport has been with immigration for 3 months. You will not get it. You will not get it. Although, it came out when it did. It could have been shorter than that, because I know I've always been someone who make and renew. And I know that get it the same day. But what are we saying? So at least we have some tangible results where some problems are being solved that makes it extremely difficult for Nigerians here and there. More can be done. We're not that is the crescendo of it all, but those are the kind of things we're talking about. Might be in the news, but somehow when you get this, there are changes that are visible beginning to come in because of policy drives here and there. You can at least say that yes, we're having some meaningful leadership in different levels. Swatila, I also saw that write-up, but here my question. One, should we be listening to this party? In what capacity is he angling from a position after failing in his bid to be governor? 6 months, that's when. What are the parameters of measurement? Did the president authorize that? The watch says, the parameters are determined by the president and his team, and they'll be given to each of them as a key performance index so that you're expected to do at least this and that within a setting. But like you said, in what capacity is he speaking? Saying, assuming but not conceding that that's it. What time frame would be most appropriate to begin weed out the bad ones from the good ones? Someone sent me a voice note. I hope this is in line with what we're talking about.
Hello, Swat. Well done. All the things that you have been saying since, what I noticed is that same APC, when I say that if you want your sin to be free, come and join APC. And it's still the same APC that are still there. How will you be expect that one will be doing something that is not good and be able to tell him that this thing that's not good? Meanwhile, all bird of the same feather. So not expecting anything from them. So anything we feel like to do, may they do. But one day go be one day for we retrieve Nigeria back from there. God bless.
Okay. All right. That's your own take issue. Thank you so much. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Hi. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Welcome.
Swat.
I can hear you.
Oh, good. This is Hola, the Indomitable from Central Area presently.
Okay, well, Hola.
Well, I want to return to people who said, look, with the way Nigerian politics is with the way we play our own politics, you cannot set a time for a minister to perform. And I want to even disagree with some who are trying to make reference to one here and some others are now in terms of always being used almost every time. That does not amount to performance. Making noise, this is not tantamount to performance. And somebody was talking about the fact that the minister has FCT out of the TS, that shows that it's ready to work. I was just laughing when he was saying that. Look, whether you stick with it or you don't stick with it does not deter you from performing. Do you understand? I wonder that it's still deja vu. They just do the same thing. The same policy that trail whatever we do here. Taking TSA, as for the FCSA, really shows that look, they just go politicking. It's just as simple as I don't know if you are hearing me, but but the fact is that there's no time frame. You can't say this is time for a minister to perform. If you perform, you get him hurt. In correlation to that, these are members of APC. Working in line with the mission of the president. So let us leave it.
Okay. Thank you
very much.
Thank you. Well, that's your own take and opinion. He feels the political will may necessarily be there. We'll stop. We'll take a break right now and come right back with this.
Must not play politics, security.
Let's talk about the biggest companies
made of trustworthy ideas, connected to everyone.
Let's talk
on Nigeria Info 95.1 Abuja.